Welcome back, children. Today I am taking chapter 8, lines and angles. Okay? So 8th chapter. Now look at here. What is this? What is this? Anyone know? What is this? Yes, it is a point. Then tell me what is a point. A point is a... Tell me what is a point? A point is a dot made with a sharp object. It may be a pen or it may be a pencil. Okay, a point is a dot made with a sharp object. Okay? Then look at here. This point has no length. It has no length or it has no breadth. You know that if it is a, what is this? It is a rectangle. It has a length and it has a breadth. But in the case of point, it has no length and no breadth. Clear? Okay. It has no length or no breadth, and it shows the position. It shows the position. Okay, usually we are using our finger to point something. That is a hospital, that is our school, like that way, no? So it shows position. It shows position. Okay, take your book and write this one. Point. Okay. Look at here. When we join straight points put on a straight way, and when we join it, that is joining infinite number of points together, we will get a line. When we join infinite number of points together, we will get a line. And a line can extend indefinitely. Clear? Okay. So this is our line, and a line is represented as line AB, or we can simply write a line as line L. That is, using small letters, you can represent a line. Otherwise, using two capital letters, you can represent a line. Clear? Next, a line. When infinite number of points join together, it forms a line. The symbol of a line is line AB or line L. Okay? It does not have a fixed length. It does not have a fixed length and fixed end point. That means it extended indefinitely. Clear? Now take your book and write this in your note. Okay? Next one, line segment. Okay? This is our line. Okay? No, I'm writing. This is our line L. Okay? Now I'm taking a part of it. A part of it, and I'm drawing that part here. Then look at here. This has two endpoints. A line has no endpoints, but a line segment has two endpoints. And look at this. This is a part of the line. Okay? So it has two fixed endpoints and a fixed length. Okay, line has no fixed endpoints, no length. But when we take a part of a line, and it is called as line segment, and it has two endpoints and fixed length. Clear? Next, take your book and write. It is a part of a line, and it has two endpoints, and it has a fixed length. Okay? And the symbol of a line segment is line segment MN or PQ or RS, any alphabets, any two alphabets you can use to represent a line segment. Clear? Okay, write it. Next, this is a line. I am taking the part from here to, and I am extending this to right side. Okay? Then I will get like this. This is called a ray. That means a ray has a fixed starting point and it extends indefinitely on one side. Clear? Okay. And we can represent a ray as ray AB. The symbol is ray AB. Okay. Take your notebook and write. A ray is a part of a line which begins at a fixed endpoint and it extends indefinitely in one direction. That is, this is ray EF. The symbol of ray is this one and ray EF. Okay. Look at here. I'm drawing a line L and another line M. Okay. Then these lines meet at a point P. Okay. That is, these lines cross each other. That in that condition we can say they are intersecting lines. They are intersecting lines. Okay. When we take the line segment from this, that is S T U V. Then we can say these line segment ST and UV intersect at the point P. Okay, that is, intersecting lines or line segments are when two line segments cross each other, then we can say they are intersecting lines or intersecting line segment, and the point of this, the meeting point of these lines is called the intersecting point. Clear? Now take your notebook and write when two lines or line segment cross each other, they are known as intersecting lines. Intersecting lines. They are known as intersecting lines. The point at which they cross. The point at which they cross is called the point of intersection. Is called the point. Here P is the point of intersection. Or you can represent any using any alphabets. Okay. Next one, parallel lines. Look at here. This is a whiteboard. Okay, and look at this one. This is a line segment. When I extend this board on both sides, I will get a line. Clear? Similarly, here also another line segment. And look at here. The distance between here to here is same as the distance between these points. And when I draw a line here to here, I will get the same distance. And it is, look at here. I'm drawing lines. Okay. Okay. Now, the distance between these 2 points, this point to this point, is same as the distance between these 2 points. Okay, and when we extend these lines on both sides, it will never meet. It will never meet. Why? Because the distance is always same. So it will never meet. You can tell me an example. You can see it in your classroom, in your room itself, and on the road or in a railway track and all. Tell me. Tell me an example for that. Tell me an example. Look at here. This is your textbook. Okay. Then this is a line segment and this is another line segment. When I extend these two sides indefinitely, it will never meet. That means the distance between any two of these, not any two of these points, perpendicular means straight lines. of two fixed points, it will never meet. The distance is always same. Okay, so we can say this line segment and these line segments are parallel. Then you can watch it. Yes, it is parallel. Okay, when I am taking this point and this point. Okay, and this one and this one. This is a line segment. This is another line segment. And when I extend this indefinitely in a straight way, not a curved way, I am extending it in a straight way, then we can say they will never meet, and these lines are called parallel lines. These lines are called parallel lines. Okay, just watch the edges of the windows, or edges of the table, or edges of the desk in your classroom or bench, or edges of the blackboard, or edges of the walls. Okay, I'll show you. Look at here. Look at here. It is a very good example of parallel lines. This line and this line. When we extend these lines, it will never meet, and it is also an example for parallel lines. It is also an example for parallel lines. That is, lines which never meet and are always at an equal distance from each other. Equal, never meet and are always at an equal distance from each other are called parallel lines. The symbol for parallel lines is this one. Parallel, like this way. Okay? Write it. Now look at here. Identify the figure below and write if they are lines, line segments or rays. Okay, what is this? It is going indefinitely and it extends on both sides. Then it is called a line. Okay. Then what is this? Same way it is also a line. This one, line. And AB is a line, GH is a line, MN is a line. Now look at CD. It has two fixed endpoints, so it is a line segment. Then IJ. Only one fixed point and one side extends. Okay. So it is a ray. Then here also one endpoint, one side extends. Okay. So it is also a ray. Clear? Okay. Good. Next one, angles. Let us consider two rays, AB and AC. Okay. So I am drawing AC here and taking this AB and keeping it here. That is AB. Okay. Then the formed part between these two rays is called the angle. That is when two rays emerging. That is when two rays emerge from a common point. When two rays emerge from a common point and moves in different directions. Then it is called angle. Okay. Then this point is called the vertex of the angle. These two rays are called the arms or sides of the angle. Arms or sides of the angle. Okay. That is, this is the vertex. This point is called, common point is called the vertex, and these two sides are the arms or sides of the angle, and this is called angle. Clear? Now take your book and write. That is when two rays emerge from a corner point and move in different directions. They form an angle at the corner. Angle at the common end point. Angle at the common end point. And we can denote angle as angle BAC. Angle BAC starting from one end of the arm and coming like this, and we are again going to the last point of the arm, that is BAC, denoted as angle BAC or simply angle A. Okay, using small alphabet you can write angle A or B or C, like that. So the alphabet denoting the vertex, the alphabet denoting, that is here it is A. The alphabet denoting the vertex should always be in the middle, that is angle BAC, angle BAC, or you can write angle CAB, BAC or angle CAB. Okay, angle BAC or angle CAB, or simply you can denote this angle as using small alphabets angle A. Not as angle A, small alphabet angle A. Clear? Take your notebook and write this. Okay. Then one more point, we can draw more angles, or we can make more angles using same vertex. Okay, so note it down also. Okay, next types of angles. That is acute, right, obtuse, straight, reflex and whole angles. Now look at here. Two rays are here. Okay. When I keep this in this way, that is straight upwards and this way. Okay. Then you can see here an angle is formed. That angle is called a right angle, and the measurement of this angle is always 90 degree. Degree means it is the measurement unit of an angle. Okay, in your the instrument box there is an instrument. Protractor. Okay, take that protractor. Now you can see it is marked 0, 10, 20, 30 up to 180. Okay, so the look at here. This is what is this angle is called? What is this angle called? What is it? It is a, what I told? It is a straight line angle is always 180 degree. So it is called straight angle. Okay. This is the straight angle. Okay. Then 0 is starting from here, and you can see the image of what? Image of protractor. And here it is written 180. Okay. So 0 to 180. These degrees, these measurement units are called degrees. Okay. And 0 degree, 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, up to 180 degree is marked up to 180 degree. And between that 0 to 10, small lines, 10 lines are there. That means 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, etc. up to 180 degree. Okay. So this is our right angle. This is our right angle. Okay. When I make angles less than 90 degree, this is 90 degree. When I make angles less than 90 degree, that is you can get so many angles. You will get so many angles, and making angles less than 90 degree. Less than 90 degree, that angles are called acute angle. Okay. This is our 90 degree. When I move this second arm on leftwards, so many angles will form, and these angles are called obtuse angle. And when I keep, this is our vertex, and when I keep first arm here and second arm like this way, I will get a straight line, and the degree of that angle is called straight angle. Okay. Now this is our straight angle. When I move the second arm to down, look at here. When I move the second arm to down, so many angles we can form. So greater than 180 degree is called a reflex angle. Okay, this is my first arm. When I keep the second arm, both arms in the same direction, then I will get a complete angle. This is our vertex, and we will get a complete angle or whole angle. Clear? Okay, now take your notebook and draw it in your notebook. One more thing, I told you a straight angle makes 180 degree. Okay, that is the protractor. Look at here, you can see two protractor, one upwards and another one is downwards. Okay, facing downwards. So 180 plus 180 is 360. So a complete angle makes 360. A whole angle makes 360. Then look at here, what is the shape of a whole angle? It is a circle. So the measure, the degree measure of a circle is 360 degree. Clear? Okay.
Perpendicular lines that meet or cross each other at right angle are called perpendicular to one another. The geometric symbol of perpendicular is like this. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Next, protractor. You can see this instrument inside. You can see this instrument inside your geometrical box. Okay. So, what is its use? It is used to measure angles. Okay. So, when we want measure angles, we use standard unit called degree. You can see 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 up to 180. These all are degrees. Okay, each is between 0 and 10. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 degrees. Okay, so the instrument used to measure degree is called protractor. The protractor has two rows of degree marked. The outer scale means this is the outer scale. Okay, the outer scale has 0 degree mark on the left side and 180 degree on the right side. Okay, but the inner scale has 180 degree on the left hand side and 0 degree on the right hand side. There are 180 divisions between 0 and 180, each representing 1 degree, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 180 degrees. Clear? And this is the center point of the protractor, and this is our inner scale and this is our outer scale. Clear? Okay. How to measure angles? That is, we know that the instrument to measure angle is protractor. Here angle ABC is given. To measure angle ABC, we have to take the protractor and keep the center of the protractor on the vertex B. Okay. Next you can see two zeros are there. One is on the right side and one is left side. Okay, always start the measurement along with the line segment BA. That is, the line is here on the right hand side. So always measure from that side. Okay, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Look at here. Now you can see the measurement of this angle ABC. The C is on 90 degree. That is, here we are taking the inner scale. This is the inner scale and the next one outer scale is there. Okay, so start with inner scale. Okay, that is 90 degree. Okay, let us check. Yes, it is 90 degree. Okay, now I am making another angle. Okay, now tell me what is the angle here. What is the measurement of this angle? Tell me. Yes, it is 50 degree. That is, you have started from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then when I draw another angle like this way, okay, 70 and 110 are there, but don't write it as 110 because we are taking the inner scale because we are taking the measurement along with the line segment. Okay, so start from 0, the degree is 70 degree. Next, I am making another angle. Look at here. What is the angle measurement here? 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That is 130 degree. It is not 50 degree because we are always taking the degree along with the line segment. Always remember that one. That is very important. Okay, clear? Good. Next, types of angles. Okay, first I'm drawing an angle. Look at this angle. You can see it as a corner of a table or a corner of a door or a corner of your room. Okay, that is, if the angle is like this way, that it makes 90 degree, then we can call it as right angle. Okay, next I'm drawing another angle. That is, I reduces the angle as 90 below. Okay, now take the measurement. It is 69 degree. That is, this angle is less than 90 degree. So such angles are called acute angles. Okay, you can make so many acute angles. Okay, here 90 degree is this, then less than 90 degree means you can, that is acute angle. So look at here, angle less than 90 degree and greater than 0 degree are called acute angles. Okay, next I am drawing another angle by increasing 90 degree. Okay, now let us take the degree measure, that is 128 degree, that is, it is greater than 90. Now you can see so many angles like that, that is greater than 90 degree and less than 180 degree. Such angles are called obtuse angles. Clear? That is less than 90 degree acute angle, greater than 90 degree obtuse angle. Now further okay, now I am drawing another angle. Okay, that is, this is 90 degree and this is 90 to 180. Okay, 180. Okay, now let us take the measurement. It is 181. Just okay. Now look at here. This is a straight line, so we can call this angle a straight angle. Okay. Next, I am drawing another angle. Further increasing the angle, I got another angle. What is its name? It is called reflex angle. That is, reflex angle means it is greater than 180 degree and less than 360 degree. These angles are called reflex angles. Next, I am drawing another angle with the same vertex and in the same direction. Okay, and in the same direction. Now let us take the measurement, that is equal to 360 degree. These type of angles are called whole angle. Now look at the shape of that whole angle. The shape is, it is a circle. So we can say the degree measure of a circle is 360 degree. Clear? Okay. Next, triangles. When we join three distinct points on a plane, we get a triangle. That is first point, second point, third point. When we join it, we will get a closed figure. Okay? That is, a triangle is a closed figure. Triangle is a closed figure made up of three vertices. Vertex 1, vertex 2, vertex 3. And three line segments. That is, first line segment, second line segment, and third line segment. And three angles. Look at here, three angles are there. First angle, angle 2 and angle 3. Next, the symbol to represent a triangle is, look at here, a small image of the triangle. Okay. So this is the symbol of a triangle. So remember these all things. Three angles, three sides and three vertices. Okay, clear? Good. The properties of triangle. First you draw a triangle. That is triangle ABC. Okay. Next measure the sides. AB 6, AC 8, BC 9. Now just add the first two sides. Take these two sides, that is AB and AC. AB equal to 6, AC is equal to 8. What is 8 plus 6? 14. Then compare with the third side. That is 8 plus 6, 14 is greater than 9. Then we can say the sum of the length of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. Okay. When I move this angle down, okay. Now look at here. What is BC? Second one BC. BC is 10 plus AC. AC is 8. 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 is also greater than 7. Okay. Then next take another one. Look at here. AB. AB is 6 plus BC. BC is 9. What is 6 plus 9? 15. 15 is greater than 8. So this is our first property. Okay. Then second property. Let us mark the angle. Let us measure the angle. Okay. Now our second property says the sum of angles of a triangle equal to 180 degree. That is, look at here. What is 56 plus 36? 50 plus 30, 80. 6 plus 6, 12. So 92. 92 plus 80 is 100. 100 plus 80, 92 plus 80 is 100. 100 plus 80 is 180. So here we got the sum as 180. Okay. Next you take another one. Okay. This is 92. Okay, this is 91. 91 plus 29. 91 plus 9 is 100. 100 plus 20, 120. 120 plus 60 is 180. So the sum of angles of a triangle is always equal to 180 degree. This is the second property. Clear? Take your book and write. Good. Types of triangles classified according to their angles. Okay. Let us see a triangle ABC. Okay. Now we can take the measurement of each angle. Look at here, 49 degree, 80 degree, 51 degree. These all angles are which type of angles? Yes, it is acute angle, acute angle, acute angle. Less than 90 degree means it is acute angle. So if all the angles of a triangle are less than 90 degree and it is acute, then we can say they are acute angled triangle. Okay, these types of triangles are called acute angled triangle if all the sides are less than 90 degree. Okay, then we can say they are acute angled triangle. Okay, next let us see another triangle. Okay, here one angle is 90 degree, 45 degree, 45 degree. Okay, so if one angle is 90 degree, then we can call it as right angled triangle. Okay, if one angle of a triangle is 90 degree, if one angle of a triangle is 90 degree, then we can say they are right angled triangle. Okay, the next one more triangle. Look at here. Here one angle is 124 degree, that is obtuse angle, and other two angles are acute angles. Okay, if one angle of a triangle is obtuse angle, then we can say they are obtuse angled triangle. If all angles are acute, we can call that type of triangle as acute angle triangle. If one angle is 90 degree, right angle triangle, and if one angle is obtuse angle, then we can call it as obtuse angled triangle. Okay, clear? Good. Next, types of triangles classified according to their sides. Okay, let us look at this triangle ABC. Okay, now I am taking the measurement of each side. First one, AB 15, AC is 15, BC is equal to 15. That means all sides are equal. If all sides of a triangle are equal, then we can call it as equilateral triangle. That is, all sides are equal, so we can call it as equilateral triangle. Let us take another triangle, another type of triangle. Now, this is DEF. Let us take the measurement of each side. DE equal to 13 centimeter. DF is equal to 13 centimeter. But look at here, EF is equal to 16 centimeter. EF is equal to 16 centimeter. Now D equal to 15, DF is equal to 15, but EF is 16. That is, two sides are equal and one is different side. Okay, so if two sides of a triangle are equal, then we can call that type of triangle as isosceles triangle. Okay, if three sides are equal, equilateral triangle. If two sides are equal, isosceles triangle. Let us see another triangle. Okay, look at here. I am taking the measurement now. That is, GH is equal to 13 centimeter. Next, HI equal to 16 centimeter. And GI equal to 22 centimeter. So we can say, if three sides are different, one is 13, one is 16, one is 22. That is, all the sides are different. So we can say they are called scalene triangle. If all sides are equal, equilateral. All sides are different, scalene triangle. If two sides are equal, isosceles triangle. Clear? Okay, good.